Tell me you hear it now.
I can hear it.
So as soon as I turn that on, okay, for sure. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings.
Yo, where's that playing from still?
So I believe you're being heard now because the mic is jumping. I just cut my screen off.
Yeah, I can hear me.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, I can stay off the screen until you get situated.
All right, let's
So
type in this
you
in
want
real
me
quick
to
so I can
turn
start
that
it on
music?
this end.
Tell me when you want to turn the music off.
Just about to this real quick. Give me 1 minute. Don't mind me. Don't mind the audio. All right.
This is crisis creation.
Just gonna start it.
Huh?
Just getting, just getting this thing started real quick.
Okay. All is well. Do your thing. I'm in the background.
Can I still hear you? Very slightly. I can hear me perfectly, but I gotta be muting my mic because it's lagging through the headphones. So if I'm talking, I'm yeah, speaking over myself more so. Something. All right. May infinite healing and wellness be upon you and yours. Nasir McCullough is my eye, also known as KS3 Revolutionary. This is episode, I think it's episode 5. I think it's episode 5 of Conversations with the Highly Connected and Protected. Learning to trust yourself, intuition, inner self. Hold up 1 minute. Get this out of my pocket real quick. One minute. Okay. Learning to trust yourself, intuition, inner voice. In this episode, we are going to be conversating through our view on how we learn how to trust our intuition, our first mind, and how our differing experiences showed us exactly why we need to and needed to follow our first mind. So, welcoming to the floor, stage, however you decide to put it, God Coach King Malik, also formerly known as my father. source. Oh yeah. Oh shoot, my bad.
Actively and
Yeah, actively. Yeah,
formally.
that's my fault.
Don't put me in the future or the past already.
Yeah, my bad about that. Restructured the words a lot of bit.
All is well. Peace, love, and infinite blessings. I am Source Energy God, Coach King Malik. I am one of the universe's best examples of limited love and eternal power and protection. Peace, love. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here with us. Let's see. Let's share. Let's go.
Shall we continue? Shall we send
Excuse
this
me.
around real quick? Here.
Okay. Oh yeah, I had the questions for you too, so I'll be able to see some. Yeah, I'm quantum jumping while we on this live.
Yeah, it happens.
See me
like
in the
that.
galaxy. Yeah.
And Lamar, can you please get him outside real quick? Okay. All right.
Yeah, why don't you clear up the vision on your camera? You're pretty blurry there.
Yeah, let me fix that real quick.
I know the other day you put your hand in front of it and you came real clear. Was that not the same device? That's a different device? Yeah, what internet are you connected to?
Oh. The discussion today. Learning to trust yourself, learning to trust your intuition, your first mind, your inner voice. So I think the reason why it was as clear as it was the other day was this reason right here. Okay. We got to do a little bit of restructuring here. My bad.
Okay. I mean, the music is playing. We'll get to it. You know, it's a process. And peace and love, everyone. We will, if you when you get the value from what we're offering, I command and allow and appreciate if you like and subscribe and share the video. And if you feel in your heart to donate or anything like that. And if not donate, for sure, just please share, like, and subscribe so we can get heavy in the algorithm, so we can start sharing these conversations and get this piece out here, get this intuition raised up to the level that we need to be. Like at least share from the perspective of those of us who have different perspectives. Because I got something that I realized in this process, throughout this process, that really assists with this.
All right. So now we can go ahead and get to it. So we'll jump right into it now then.
All right, so I'm going to stop the music. What's up?
Okay. So the first question is, why is it important that we must learn to trust ourselves first?
Why is it important that we must learn to trust ourselves first?
Yes, sir. And I'm speaking about in the aspect of like trusting ourselves before we trust anybody. It's like the mastery of love was saying, if you don't have any love inside of yourself, then what are you really giving away? How are you really able to give love? If you don't have any trust for yourself inside of yourself, how are you going to properly or truly be able to trust somebody else?
Well, you kind of answered the question in one version, because in order to trust yourself, you have to love yourself. And I think it's very important that you learn to love yourself so that you can trust yourself. I know that I'm constantly referring to the inner self, like knowing thyself in the perspective of listening to yourself, your intuition, or your inner voice, especially when you're doing your best to stay in a positive and uh, balanced vibration. And I'm gonna say this, not okay, positive means to me balanced. You know what I'm saying? So balance on whatever side it's on. So if you got to be balanced in a situation that's low vibrational, you're the most balanced that you can be in that vibration. Balance in a high vibration, you're the most balanced you can be in that vibration. So in that aspect of speaking is what I'm, speaking of. So, but it's in terms of why it is important we must learn to trust ourselves, because until you trust yourself, you can't really hear yourself clearly to know that it's you giving you the proper information. You'll probably not really pay attention, or you won't be able to identify the voice that is within inside you. You might think his voice is speaking to you, and you won't recognize the one that actually is you. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like for me, I've had to go through some things that I've had to trust myself. Being an only child, I didn't have anybody else to trust, especially when I saw that, the situation was going to be different than what, I saw maybe other families going through or something, so it's a intuition thing came early for me. And I realized early on it was important to trust myself so that I can navigate and be able to identify. Another things with trusting yourself, it'll give you a better guide on who to trust, because your intuition starts the day you start to understand. To me, like I realized that my intuition, my ability to listen to my inner self and everything, that was always me. I'm an only child, so I've always had this imaginary thing going on. I've always heard the voice in my head. I've always been that. You know what I'm saying? Dealt with that, still do today. So I know that this God, I know that that voice within inside of me is my intuition. It is my, inner voice. It is me. It is source energy. It is the God that we know. You know what I'm saying? That, individually and collectively, it is that. I feel that, we have to accept that for what it is. If you know, you know. And when you come to terms with, your knowing will make it clear. Balance, vibration, you'll feel it.
I feel that. I received that.
So what do you think? Why is it important, that we must learn to trust ourselves, in your opinion? I know, you must have an opinion about that.
Yeah, that's a fact. I do. Um, so when it comes down to the aspect of us trusting ourselves first before anything, if we are too focused on the outside aspect of looking outside of ourselves for any sort of validation, for any sort of trust in any way, shape, and form, then we will allow ourselves to be led the improper way, because the very first voice that came into our head, that's not what we trust. We trust what somebody else said based on how we feel at that moment. So it's a lot of times where certain ones of us, we feel something inside of ourselves, and considering that certain things do not feel comfortable, you just go with what feels better in that moment. And it's not always what you should be going after. Knowing that and just for me, just speaking for me, when I went to the more uncomfortable parts of what I was feeling and actually sat in that and identify what that was, that assisted me with being able to actually get out of that and be more so willing and open to be able to trust my inner voice, trust my intuition on what I was thinking and what I was feeling, because I know when I'm looking back at certain things about myself, it's certain things that I have to learn how to heal myself on and take responsibility for, especially the things that I feel and the things that I think.
Oh yeah, yeah, because you're responsible for all of that. You know, at some point you must take responsibility. And realize that yeah, that trust things it's a must to learn to trust yourself, because nothing else. You get no, you get no good outcome if you can't trust yourself. You know.
That's a fact. Have you looking outside of yourself in all ways.
So it is very important that you trust yourself, so that you can have the proper guidance from within yourself to know that what you're being told is correct. And I feel like in order to trust yourself, you have to know who you are. You have to recognize the blessings that you have upon you. You really have to recognize the power that you have. You know how powerful you are, and how blessed you are. You should be, very grateful. You should really be counting your blessings, counting, recognizing the fact of how, powerful you are, in the terms of just having the idea of something giving you a guiding system, your emotions and your intuition, your inner voice and everything. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I feel you on that. So it's funny because like I wouldn't say it's like necessarily funny, it can be, but at the same time it's truthful because even on the last few episodes, the whole root of everything is still going back to knowing yourself. Because if
Yeah,
you don't know yourself, then you're not going to be able to properly love yourself. You're not going to be able to properly trust yourself. You're not going to be able to sit and look in the mirror. You're never going to do any of the things needed to spend time to do things for yourself or just do things for yourself that
excuse
is
me.
that requires you healing yourself, that requires you spending time with yourself to become more comfortable with yourself.
Right. Well, once you get to know yourself, then everything balances out because you'll see everything outside of yourself as being you, in the sense of your vibrational realm. Because everything that where you are vibrational is what you attract. So you're going to be as knowing and trusting yourself. It will be much easier to trust those that cross your path, especially by vibration, because you'll know by the vibration if it feels funny, it's not in alignment with the vibration that you trust that's within yourself. If it does not feel funny, not it's a very good probability that you don't have to second guess it. And if you're trusting yourself, then you're automatically attracting those that you can trust within, with inside this experience. It's just when you start doubting is when you start getting that experience. You start, pulling up those experiences, should I say?
Yeah, I feel you on
Uh,
that.
yeah.
When we went to go take our permit test, um, this right here is a good example of why I should have followed my first mind because the very first question I had, I picked an answer and I was sitting there looking at it, changed the answer, and then did that with like three or four more questions. And as a result of me not following my first mind, if I would have followed my first mind on the first few questions I had picked and did not change them, I would have passed the very first time. But as a result of that, I ended up not passing that test the very first time, but I was grateful I was able to still sit in the same building the same exact day and go ahead and retake it like 2, 3 minutes later. Because usually, most times, if you don't pass it, then you got to go restudy and you got to come all the way back like 2 or 3 weeks later.
Exactly. Yeah, we've always created that magic before we go places, do intentions and command that the universe will move for us and things go exactly the way we intend. It really works that way. You should try it. You should try an intention. Well, it's a commandment now because I started as an intention, but as I've grown, I realize that intention is basically, something that you desire, but a commandment is something that you already have in place and the universe gives you based upon your commands. You know what I'm saying? And I get it respectfully and intention respectfully. When I'm speaking for others, I intend well for others, but I command all power that's within me, and I allow that energy to intentionally affect those who it can, if they can feel the intention. You know what I'm saying? It's a vibrational alignment. Those who will, and I was told, like I said before, once I save myself, and I'm constantly reinventing, raising the bar. Once I make myself balanced, and I'll just attract balanced people, and they'll learn from that. And that is what I have to offer. Please like and subscribe if it resonates or if anything does. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so it is what it is.
So, the second question: do you think it is important to trust how we feel when dealing with people?
That's the third question. Haha.
So we ended up answering the second question within the first question, which is number two: can you truly trust someone else if you don't trust your own self?
Okay, but okay? That's cool. Wouldn't know. Yeah, because you'll never know who to trust. Because if you don't trust yourself, how you gonna trust anybody else? You'll never have no guiding system. You'll never have no point of reference to say, "Oh, I got this feeling. I got this feeling." You just be out there like a sitting duck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know.
seriously.
Yeah. So okay. So the next question was, do you think it is important to trust how you feel when dealing with people? Yeah, I do strongly suggest and feel. Well, I know that it's important, you know, how you feel when dealing with people because you're bringing the vibration of how you feel directly to your conversation, your interaction, your experience, and all of that. So if you're feeling in a good way, you're going to pretty much bring those kind of vibes to that, you know, whatever way you're dealing with them. And if they're in a certain way, you can actually change the vibration of the other people by keeping your vibration a certain way and knowing that your power is more prevalent than, especially when you're looking at them in a way of not, looking down on them or making them, get when you give them your power, you look down on them, you're looking down on yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're giving them power by getting angry and stuff. Like I had to learn that. I've learned that the long way, the real way, not the hard way. I've learned that the great way because it's really made me compassionate to dealing with other people because I realize that it's me pushed out and I'm not in a position to be disrespectful or even fly off the handle unless when I'm looking at my mirror and my mirror is you know what I'm saying? And my mirror is, always in front of me, like, you know what I'm saying? So I can't be, carrying out, dealing with people a certain way unless I want to be dealt with that way. And that's another thing too. You know what I'm saying? It's important how you deal with people because you're going to get that same thing in return. It's going to be from people that you really don't expect to treat you that way because you might be treating people a certain way and not be acknowledging it when they say, this is how you, man, you like this, like, but you know, maybe you're not like that, with everybody, but maybe you are with this person and they recognize it, but others don't. You're not hearing it. Somebody else, comes across your path and lets you know it. It takes some confirmation. So you really just got to be mindful how you're carrying yourself. You know what I'm saying? And be mindful how you're feeling for sure, because you're going to get the exact what you put out. You know what I mean?
I feel you on that. It's same like-minded reflection and energy, regardless of who you come across. That's one thing I have. And see, that's I'm grateful for that because just the whole way we've been influenced our whole lives since we've been living all the way back in Georgia, all the way up to now, we've been influenced to be able to read energy very well. And me, I feel like I've come on a heightened sense of being able to actually recognize and realize energy. There's just certain times I just try to basically like give the benefit of the doubt on certain things and then just see exactly how I should not have given the benefit of the doubt on certain things, but addressed it exactly how I felt the first time. Because most people, they don't want to seem as coming off as if they know everything or they're not trying to be disrespectful. But there's a difference between being aggressive and assertive about things. And when I approach things in an assertive manner, and I address certain things without letting it slide, it always gonna seems like when you start to address more that most people would let slide, you would be looked at a certain way just because they're the one being addressed on what they do, and you don't just allow anything in your space.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting and very true. You know, it's about a balance. It's about a balance. Yep. So, what's the what's good?
So, fourth question is: can you please expound on the importance, or to expand on the importance of vibrational alignment?
Okay. Can I expound on the importance of vibrational alignment? Okay. First of all, you want to define what vibrational alignment is for people who may not, know the words like that, or give a layman term for what that may mean.
I can do that very much so. So, from my view, vibrational alignment is paying attention to how your energy is, being very mindful of the energy that you vibrate in when you are speaking to people. When you realize that you feel a certain way and knowing that your energy feels a certain way, and you actually go around people with that same energy field, because our energy field has is strong enough to when you walk in a room, it can affect the whole energy of the whole room. And I was speaking on this slight bit when I was recording something about maybe a week ago, when I had came to the realization that environment is stronger than nature. Then my main intention is, okay, I want to see exactly how I can make my nature so strong, like living by my nature so strong to the point where when I walk into the environment, the nature of who I am shifts the whole energy of the whole environment.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what's been with me. So you got that. Just keep on doing what you're doing because you showed up for that. I tell you, because of the way you have affected my life, I can tell you for a fact that you are here to, shift the energy for those who could potentially need it, as well as when they cross paths. When they cross paths, you'll see. But yeah. So vibrational alignment. First, being in alignment. Clear spiritual, physical, mental, emotional is all vibrational. It all is tied into vibration. Like, you know what I'm saying? So vibrational alignment from the perspective of what I've, gathered it to be in my from my experience throughout this journey is, the vibration is what controls everything. You know what I'm saying? It's we're in this vibrational realm of reality right now, and we're just the frequency. You know what I'm saying? Seek, basically having an experience. So the vibrational alignment, the importance of it and being in frequency with the alignment vibrationally is with the universe to me. Like, you have to be in vibrational alignment with the universe. That's the only alignment that matters. You know what I'm saying? So when you say vibrational alignment to me, I'm speaking vibrational alignment from the perspective of the universe and how you're aligned with the universe. That's it. Like, I don't have an extra to add with that. Vibrational alignment for me is how we're aligned with the universe in terms of, like I said, the spiritual alignment, the physical alignment, the emotional alignment, just the character alignment. You know what I'm saying? So vibrational. So the importance is like that's the most important thing. So I want to share some things that, like, we're gonna get back to, because I know that's
It's pretty broad. Yeah.
it's real broad, and it's like a little bit extra off of the self trust, self intuition, and inner voice, but it adds to, because when you get vibrationally aligned, you are able to hear your intuition clearly. Innately that it is, your into it is source energy speaking directly to you. It is the Christ consciousness giving you the experience of knowing that you are the Christ, that you are Jesus, that you are God, you are Buddha, whoever, however you want to level that out. It gives you the balance and the clarity and the confirmation that you are, that I am. And that applies to every being that exists in consciousness. You know what I'm saying? And, that's just pretty much proven. But what I wanted to share okay, so in the sense of intuition, because it's that's pretty serious. We're learning to trust self. And so I'm going to give you a few ways to assist to trust your intuition. First of all, do not ever go against your first mind. Practice listening to your first mind on every cause. I don't care if you're 2,000. However, you know what I'm saying, because some of us are much older than these physical years that they give us. Okay, so
Fact.
I'm just covering. If you're physically here in this consciousness, just know that it is what it is. Be conscious to listen to your first mind consistently. Your first mind. Do not second guess your first mind for any reason. It's not, test it if you want to, but if you want to do that, know that you're dipping in the darkness where the darkness is bad darkness, not the light darkness, not the darkness that sheds light. You know what I'm
It's all
saying?
the balance.
Okay, so it's really, a balanced situation. You must think in that aspect. But I wanted to also share. Okay, so that's one. Just never go against your intuition. Like, never go against your first mind. Our way to practice this is one of the things that I teach or share with the people that allow me to influence or inspire them is, practicing strengthening your intuition by, this is this little technique, right? What you do is you get somewhere to yourself. It's gonna take 5 or 10 minutes. Like, this is not a very long process. The longer you can do it, the more practice you get with yourself, and basically getting a relationship with, knowing that your conscious, your unconscious, as to how you will respond to things. The more time you spend with yourself, then you will see that it gets sharper and sharper. But what you do is you get by yourself, you take 3 deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth 3 times. Like, okay, because that's kind of like getting your cells to balance. Okay, so what you want to do. You want to sit there and you want to think for a second. You want to clear your mind as best as you can for 30 seconds to a minute. And then you want to ask yourself a serious question that you have been wanting to get an answer to. Okay, that's why you got to think about this before you do. That's why I say take the deep breaths and kind of clear your stuff out, because you're going to have to start thinking. Like, after you clear it out, you have to think about something that you really want to get an answer to. Okay, like, seriously. Okay, and you're going to do this with 3 different questions. Okay, but you're going to do it first. You ask yourself the question. Okay,
Ask yourself the question very first.
Ask yourself a question. You give yourself about a minute or so. Whatever it come to your mind, write it down. Whatever comes to your mind, write it down. Okay. Whatever you think of first, write it down. What you think of second is wrong. All right. I'm saying what you think of second is wrong. Okay, so do it again. Now, if you it like, and this is like, try this. All right. So do it again. Ask yourself another question that you want to know an answer to. You know what I'm saying? And be conscious in this. Like, don't do it and be like, oh, this didn't work. I'm talking about, be conscious. Take time out. If you meditate, if you've ever meditated, take the same time out that you would take out for meditating, and just take out a few seconds to really take this serious. Hypnotize yourself, quantum jump, use your imagination as you do all day, every day. You daydream, we do this, we quantum jump consistently. We're in, hypnosis all the time, like regularly, all the time. Just control this. Just control this process, okay? Ask yourself the question again. Ask yourself a different question, okay? And answer the question. Think about it. Answer the question. First answer, write it down. The second answer is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Do that again. Practice this. And you could do, I do the Tesla thing. I do 3, and I do 6, and I do 9. You know what I'm saying? So if you do that, this is activating, and you can believe it or not, but the numbers have a lot to do with all this activation into the universe. Like, you know what I'm saying? And just different things do work. And if you believe it, it'll work for you. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is feel what resonates with you and see, try your hand. But ask yourself the third question. Like I said, if you want to just go to 3, because 3 is a magical number, ask yourself the third question. Do the same thing. Think about it. Write the first answer down. The second answer is wrong. You're programming yourself that even if you didn't listen to your intuition, you're programming yourself that the first answer you come up with is going to be right from now on. The second answer is wrong. The second answer is wrong. First answer is going to be right. So whatever, then you're going to activate your intuition to constantly give you the right answer, because you're writing it down. You're forcing that answer to be correct, because it's going to be right. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be right. And if you utilize it, you're going to see that it's right. Like, you know what I mean? I'm 55 years old, and I've tested it. I've ran myself into brick walls. Like, man, I should have listened to my first mind in small things, and I get better and better. My life gets better and better. I'm talking about from a spiritual perspective, from my awakening perspective, the more I listen to my intuition. And then I got this to share. This is life. Okay, this is life in a nutshell. They say, what's the biggest secret or biggest lie you've been told? What's the biggest lie you've been told? And I'm asking you that question. What's the biggest lie you've been told? Because I don't lie to you, but you look at you get the opportunity to govern what you read and everything, and from what you see, what's the biggest lie you've been told? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Shoot, the biggest lie I've been told is it's hard.
Okay. Okay, yeah, well, because that's what we were talking about. And it is. That it's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth is, it is. It is just that easy. Let me tell you. Okay, I manifested my family from childhood, from having imaginary friends and keeping them active in my vibration, not really realizing that I had activated something I had was something was activated early in me when I was electrocuted when I was 4. Didn't realize that my imaginary friends was something that came to me as a result of me having to, have an experience early on to be able to handle this experience now with having you all present in my life. And every day of my life, like since I've been having 4 or 5 of you all, I've been active with recognizing and getting more and more close to the awakening and being more awakening of, okay, intuition, imagination, the key to source energy. Okay? Because it's like this. I've been through all of these religious beliefs. I took what I took serious, really on some. When I did my best to be the best I could at all of it. Came to terms, woke up and realized that I am, and realized that this was a while back now. It's not like brand new because I'm good 15 years in, 15, 16 years in because on my 40th birthday, it's like I stopped, doing everything that had anything to do with a religion ritual. And consciousness had already been coming to me because of all of the intentions. I had been having doubts and all kind of things going on because of the simple fact of, looking at the children growing and then them having certain vibrations when it comes down to, praying and different things, just different things. And we having to do and being obligated for and how the views are and how I'm having to view how my personal views don't line up with how it says I should view. And so I'm questioning things, and I've always been on my own in life. I never really had religion to start with. It was like I was taught that I could do everything I set my mind to, and then religion was put on later on, and I had to fight my way through, or no, I had to experience and learn my way through it, so that I could have these experiences to share. But in the grown sense of things, I woke up awakened and very grateful that my intuition has carried me. My first mind has carried me this whole time, and my intuition has given me the right to have an imagination. You told me, like give me a feeling of thought, and I think, and my imagination like goes all over the place, and it's always done that. And I've been able to achieve a lot of things, great things inside myself, and realizing now they're coming to physical because I've spent so much time on focusing raising you all and helping mom and dad, pops, and I see the benefit, I see the blessing now. I see all of the so-called stress that I was taking and putting in the perspective of it being stress. Never, it's nothing stressful, nothing is wrong, everything is all like it's supposed to be. We're right exactly where we're supposed to be. We'll show up, we have shown up exactly how we're supposed to. Please like and subscribe. If it resonates, please, let's connect and let's do what we're supposed to do. And if not, just keep it moving. Share with somebody that it will resonate with. We're on that peace, love, and power and protection. You know what I'm saying? And but the intuition, follow your intuition, trust yourself, listen to your inner voice. But first and foremost, find some things to do that you can ground yourself and make sure that you're doing the things that you would be able to trust yourself. Like if you start treating yourself good, you can trust yourself because you're going to feel better about yourself. And then yourself is going to ignite things into the universe to give you experiences that will make you feel better about yourself. And then next thing you know, you'll attract people into your experiences, and then things will take place, from every perspective of what you desire. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I'm blessed to know that that's what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm very compassionate about the process. You know what I mean? And what I desire is to for us to link and make these things come to pass, because it's a thought process. It's a thought process, it's an agreement, it's a mastermind, and it's a let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Man, let's go. And see, one thing I realized even throughout the whole part that you had just broke
Peace and
down,
blessings, Brian.
man, infinite healing and wellness be upon you and yours. Thank you for dropping in. One thing I have realized even during the whole breakdown that you just gave, one thing I can say for sure, learning, just doing the exercises that you said, learning how to really training your mind, how to really trust your intuition, trust your inner voice, trust the first thought that you get. That is something that is assisting you on your decision making skills, because regardless of if it's something that it was something you would consider as a right or wrong decision, even if it was something that somebody would deem as a quote unquote wrong decision, that feeling that you're left with after you make that decision later down the road, you're going to see exactly how that gave you the awareness to really learn how to make better decisions, to learn how to think quicker on your feet, learn how to really be far more aware than you are. It increases your awareness because I know that's what it's done with me. But one thing I can say for sure, that's something that increases your awareness and decision making anytime you get into any situation, whether it's deemed as good or bad. As long as you're making sure that you're vibrationally aligned and doing it with and doing anything with your heart in the right place and doing it for the right reason, there's nothing that you're not able to do. There's nothing that you're not able to succeed in.
No doubt. And it's not a good or bad. There's a balance. There's a yin and yang. There's a as if within, as above, so below. there's a there's a even into both in all things. And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So respect, love, appreciation. Thank you, bud. I appreciate you, man, checking us out, man. We're doing what we're supposed to do over here. You know, we're moving in the pace of what Source is directing, and foot on their neck though, because you'll see what's up. All is well.
Mhm.
We're just being peaceful and compassionate as we come through, because the fire is lit. The fire is totally lit. It's just the way it's coming. It's burning from the inside.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
So all is well, man.
yeah. Infinite healing and wellness at all points and times. Always balance, but if we come forward with the compassion, peace, and love, there's always the balance to it. So just making that part extremely clear now, just so we don't get misunderstood.
No, it won't be no The only thing that people misunderstand is themselves. That's why I say I'm me pushed out. I don't misunderstand me. I recognize me from all levels. I recognize the dark part of me, and I recognize the light part of me. I'm here to basically balance, keep that in balance. But I deal with both sides in equal form. You know what it is. And
Oh, very
this
much so.
music thing. As we do our music, like I told you, I was in the process. I can't stop. I'm gonna have to express myself. If it's writing it out, if it's saying it, if it's lyrically. I'm writing the book right now, so it's the process. I just the everyday process is a chapter. Like every day is a chapter. You know what I'm saying? So
And some of the stories and messages that you have to give, some of them, you know, I personally don't think like you can find the right beat for it. I feel like you can just write, like do acapella first, just write it out and then just send it how you want to. And then the beat is going to find you more so.
no doubt. Well, it always does. We got production. We got it. We're doing. We just got to go ahead and just show up. I mean, no, we don't have to show. Let's just do what we have already acquired to do. In the quantum field, it's already done. Let's bring it. Let's drop it in the quantum and every quantum that we flow through. So
Yeah, just passion and energy. So
So
yeah,
and then another thing you can do is practice raising your intuition is like, okay, okay, it's most important to learn. It is very important for you to learn how to trust yourself. Okay. I feel that it's a easier process the more you go inside of yourself and relieve, the baggage, the bad energy, the low vibrational energy, basically the past, the memories, because everything that happened yesterday doesn't really exist unless you bring it into the ether. You can literally forget about it and be done with it. And that's literally everything. It's like you can really find a place in your process because the quantum field has you in every perspective, and you can utilize your energy field of of memory, of forgetting, forgiveness, love. You can use all of these different things. You can go to different quantum fields and get more power and bring them back to the field that you desire to be in, and just increase your value, or either jump to a different one and stay there. You know what I'm saying? Just don't, vibrate in the one, because it's a process. And as we get closer to, clearing our baggage out, all the fear and all of the news and all of the bad media, all the bullshit, all the silly ass music, all the dumb shit that we do, all of the things that pretty much violate the cause of us being, creators in creation, really supposed to be sharing love, value, and appreciation, respect, and a few ass whoopings to build character for those who need it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's life. Don't act like you didn't get your ass whooped. I did. I've been, but I don't. I don't govern like receiving those anymore. Like, we have to grow past the process of attracting the experience that you desire. You want to be a tough guy, you deal with tough guy energy. You want to be a balanced person, you deal with balanced people energy. You want to deal with whatever you want to deal with, you choose, but realize that you are responsible for what you put forth. There is a cause and effect on everything. So your words start the whole motion. You know what I'm saying? Well, your thoughts start the whole motion, and then your words behind that, you know what I'm saying, create the action. You know what I mean? And into the universe, what you ask for, you get. So be very mindful what you're creating and what you're requesting and what you're desiring, because it is yours. It is yours.
Fully.
Fully.
There's no way you can run away from it.
Nah, ain't no running. No run, man. With no run, man. Yeah. So it's love, it's peace, it's all power. I'm Source Energy Guy, Coach King Malik, here with my King Son, KS3 Revolutionary. I am one of the universe's best examples of unlimited before, but it's limitless now. Love and eternal power and protection.
Conversations with the highly connected and protected, life skills and self-development for teens and young adults. Advice is an opinion, insight is wisdom. Wisdom comes from a wealth of experience, and it's not a lesson. This is only to lessen the turmoil you would have had on your path if you had not heard these words throughout this conversation today. May infinite healing and wellness be upon you all. Shall we continue to grow, and grow some more? Ashe.
Ashe. Hotep.
Hotep.